Hidden Truths of the Rosetta Stone. Hello, friends. Welcome to our video today. We are going to talk about something very cool. It's called the Rosetta Stone. Have you ever heard of it? No? Don't worry. I'm here to tell you everything. The Rosetta Stone is a big, old rock. It has writing on it. This rock is special because it helped people understand a secret language from long, long ago. Think of it like a magic key. It opened a door to the past. In this video, we will learn what the Rosetta Stone is, where it came from, why it matters, and some fun secrets it hides. Are you ready? Let's go on this adventure together. What is the Rosetta Stone? First, let's imagine the Rosetta Stone. Picture a big, black rock. It's not shiny or colorful. It looks a little boring. But it's very important. The stone is tall, about 1 meter. That's as tall as a small child standing up. On this rock, there is writing. Not just one kind of writing, but 3 kinds. These are called Egyptian hieroglyphs, Egyptian demotic, and Greek. Don't know these words? That's okay, I'll explain each one. Egyptian hieroglyphs are pictures. Long ago, people in Egypt didn't use letters like A, B, C. They drew little symbols instead. For example, a bird picture might mean bird or a sound like B. An I might mean C. These pictures told stories or gave messages. Cool, right? Next, there's demotic. This is another Egyptian writing. It's not pictures, it's more like curvy lines. It was faster to write than hieroglyphs. Last, there's Greek. Greek is a language from a country called Greece. It uses letters, kind of like English. Here's the amazing part. The Rosetta Stone has the same message written in all 3 ways, hieroglyphs, demotic, and Greek. Long ago, people could still read Greek. But hieroglyphs and demotic? No one understood them anymore. They were lost languages. The Rosetta Stone was like a teacher. It helped people figure out the lost words. Let's find out how it was found next. Where did it come from? Now, let's travel to Egypt. Egypt is a country with lots of sand and big pyramids. The Rosetta Stone was found there in 1799. Who found it? Some soldiers from France. They were in Egypt, building something near a town called Rosetta. One day, they were digging in the dirt. Suddenly, they saw a big stone. It was the Rosetta Stone. At first, they didn't know it was special. It just looked like an old rock. But then, smart people called scholars heard about it. They said, wow. This is a treasure. We must study it. The stone wasn't new when they found it. It was made way back in 196 BC. That's more than 2,000 years ago. Who made it? People working for a king named Ptolemy V. He was a ruler in Egypt. The writing on the stone is about him. It says, Ptolemy is a good king. He helps people. He doesn't take too much money from them. Back then, Egypt's rulers came from Greece. That's why the stone has Greek writing, too. It was probably put in a temple, a big building where people prayed, so everyone could see it. Imagine finding something that old today. It's like finding a letter from your great-great-great-grandparents. The soldiers didn't know it yet, but this stone would change history. Let's see why. Why is it important? You might ask, why does an old rock matter? Good question. The Rosetta Stone is important because it solved a mystery. For a long time, hundreds of years, no one could read Egyptian hieroglyphs. After the ancient Egyptians stopped using them, the meanings got lost. Imagine you have a favorite book. But one day, all the words turn into strange symbols. You can't read it anymore. That's what happened. Scholars found hieroglyphs on walls, in tombs, and on old papers. But they didn't know what they said. It was like a secret code. The Rosetta Stone fixed that. How? It had the same message in 3 languages. People could read Greek. So, they looked at the Greek words. Then, they compared them to the hieroglyphs and demotic. It was like a puzzle. For example, if the Greek said king, they looked at the hieroglyphs next to it. Oh, that picture must mean king too. Step by step, they learned the code. It was like finding a dictionary for a forgotten language. Because of this, we can now read ancient Egyptian stories. We know about their kings, their gods, and their lives. Without the Rosetta Stone, all those stories would still be locked away. It's like the stone said, "Here. Let me help you understand." Next, let's talk about the people who solved this puzzle. The race to understand it. After the stone was found, it became a big challenge. Many smart people wanted to crack the code. Who could read hieroglyphs first? It was like a race. Two men worked the hardest. One was Thomas Young from England. The other was Jean-François Champollion from France. They didn't work as a team. They were rivals, like two runners trying to win a prize. Thomas Young started first. He looked at the demotic writing. He figured out some of it. He also had a smart idea. He thought hieroglyphs might use sounds, like our alphabet. For example, CAT spells cat. Maybe hieroglyphs did that, too. He was right, but he didn't finish. Then came Jean-François Champollion. He was amazing with languages. He knew Greek, Latin, and more. He studied the Rosetta Stone and other Egyptian writings. In 1822, he said, "I got it." Champollion showed that hieroglyphs were special. They used pictures for sounds and for whole words. A bird picture could mean the sound bee or the word bird. It was tricky, but he figured it out. Because of him, we could read hieroglyphs at last. Imagine being the first person to understand a secret language. That's what Champollion did. Secrets of the Rosetta Stone. The Rosetta Stone has some fun secrets. Let's explore them. First, the message on it isn't very exciting. It's not about pirates or gold. It's about boring things. Like taxes and laws. It says, the king is nice. He helps priests. He doesn't take too much money. But even if it's boring, it tells us how people lived back then. Second, the stone is broken. Yes, it's not whole. When the soldiers found it, a piece was missing. Scholars think it was bigger long ago. Where's the missing part? No one knows. Maybe it's still in Egypt, buried in the sand. Or maybe it's gone forever. It's a little mystery inside the big story. Third, how did it get to where it is now? The French found it, but they didn't keep it. In 1801, England and France fought a war in Egypt. England won. They took the stone as a prize. They brought it to London. Today, it's in the British Museum. People from everywhere visit it. But some in Egypt say, "Wait. That's ours. Give it back." For now, it stays in England. It's like a traveler with a long story. What we learned from it. Thanks to the Rosetta Stone, we know so much about ancient Egypt. Let's talk about some fun things we learned. First, their kings were called pharaohs. We read about famous ones, like Cleopatra. She was a smart queen. And Tutankhamun, he was a young king with a golden tomb. We also learned about their gods. Ra was the sun god. Anubis looked like a dog and helped dead people. Egyptians wrote about all this on walls, tombs, and paper called papyrus. Here's a fun fact: Egyptians loved cats. They thought cats were magic. If you hurt a cat, you'd get in big trouble. We also learned about pyramids. These were giant tombs for pharaohs. Inside, they put food, gold, and treasures. Why? For the afterlife, the life after you die. All these stories came from hieroglyphs. And the Rosetta Stone helped us read them. Imagine if we didn't have the stone. We'd see pyramids and think, wow, pretty. But we wouldn't know why they were built. the stone gave us the answers. It's like a friend whispering secrets from the past. Why it still matters today. Even now, the Rosetta Stone is famous. People use its name in a special way. If you solve a hard problem, someone might say, "You found the Rosetta Stone." It means you found the key to understanding. It's also a reminder that history hides surprises. One small thing, like a rock, can change everything. The stone teaches us about teamwork, too. Scholars from England, France, and other places studied it. They shared ideas. They argued. They learned together. Today, we still dig up old things to learn more. Maybe there's another Rosetta Stone out there, waiting in the sand or under the sea. What do you think? Let's wrap up our journey. What did we learn? The Rosetta Stone is an old rock with 3 kinds of writing: hieroglyphs, Demotic, and Greek. It was found in Egypt in 1799, but made in 196 BC. It helped us read hieroglyphs after they were lost for centuries. People like Champollion worked hard to unlock its secrets. Because of it, we know about Egypt's pharaohs, gods, cats, and pyramids. It's broken, it traveled far, and it's still special.